Imagine discovering that the person who once wiped your tears is the same person dating the man who made you cry. That's my reality. My younger sister has been dating my ex for 9 months, and I only found out from her own friend. This isn't just betrayal. This is blood. And the worst part, she didn't even flinch when I asked her. She just looked me in the eye like I was the one who did something wrong. My name is Adana, and I'm 23 years old. I live in Lagos with my parents, my kid brother, and my little sister, Chioma. Up until recently, I thought I had finally gotten over the worst heartbreak of my life. I was wrong. I met Tun 2 years ago at a friend's wedding in Lekki. He was charming, the kind of man who knew exactly what to say and when to say it. He made you feel like the only person in the room, like nothing else existed outside his gaze. And I fell hard and fast. We dated for almost a year. He said he wanted to marry me. He met my parents, slept on our couch a few nights. He even helped Chioma study for her jam once. He was part of the family, but behind that sweet smile, he was a master manipulator. It started with small lies. I fell asleep. I was in a meeting. She's just a friend. Until one day, I found lipstick stains on his car seat, and it wasn't mine. That night, I confronted him, and for the first time I saw a different Tun, cold, dismissive, almost amused that I was crying. He didn't even apologize, said something about me being too emotional, that I wasn't fun anymore. I broke things off, but my healing was a mess. I cried every night for weeks, stopped eating. My confidence shattered. The only person who pulled me through it all was Chioma. She'd sneak into my room with snacks and silly memes, hug me without asking questions. She told me, any man who makes you doubt your worth doesn't deserve your love. And I believed her. Chioma is 19, bubbly, loud in the most adorable way, always dancing in front of mirrors, always recording herself for her TikTok. We're close, not just sisters but best friends, or at least I thought we were. She was the one person I trusted with the unfiltered version of what Tun did to me. The betrayal, the gaslighting, the nights I felt like I couldn't breathe from crying too hard. And yet she knew all of that. She knew. And still she chose him. It was just another Saturday afternoon. The heat outside was unbearable, so I ducked into my favorite salon. Cool AC, chilled Zobo, soft Afrobeats humming from the corner speaker. I leaned back as the stylist massaged deep conditioner into my hair. For the first time in weeks, I actually felt at peace. No thoughts of Tun, no shadow of heartbreak hovering over me. Just quiet. That's when she walked in, Amaka, Chioma's friend. Slender, caramel-skinned, always smiling like she knew everyone's secret. She greeted the room, then spotted me in the corner. "Ah, Adana, you look good-o," she chirped, dropping her bag. "You and Chioma resemble more these days." I smiled politely. "How you day?" We chatted lightly for a bit. Hair types, final year stress, Lagos traffic. Then she said it, just like that, like it was nothing. "I saw Chioma and that your ex, what's his name again, Tun? They were together on campus last week. And they even looked like lovebirds SAF. I didn't know they were dating. Oh." I blinked. At first, I thought I misheard her. The salon noise must have drowned her words, right? "What did you say?" I asked, slowly keeping my voice even. She laughed. "You don't know? Ah, sorry. Oh, I just thought, never mind." But I wasn't going to let it go. "Amaka, say it again. You saw who with who?" Now her face changed, eyes darting, lips fumbling. "Chioma, with Tun. They were together now, holding hands, laughing. I even asked her if you people were cool, and she just smiled. I thought maybe you already knew." My scalp burned, not from the steamer, from something sharp and hot crawling under my skin. The stylist said something I didn't hear. Amaka kept talking I didn't process. The room started spinning slightly, but I smiled. I smiled through the fire, licking at the back of my throat. I laughed even. "Ah, Amaka, You must be mistaken. Chioma would never do that. But even as I said it, my hands trembled. She left shortly after, probably sensing the tension. But I sat there, frozen, heart pounding like a war drum. 9 months. That's what she said. Chioma and Tund had been together for that long. That's almost the same amount of time since we ended. So while I was still waking up with swollen eyes and pretending to be okay, they were on campus, laughing, touching, whispering sweet nothings. My sister and my ex. My chest tightened. I thought about all those late-night conversations. How she told me I deserved better. How she watched me cry over this man, all while texting him behind my back. What kind of girl betrays her own blood like that? That night, I lay in bed, staring at the ceiling, replaying every conversation, every moment. The dots connected too easily now. The way Chioma would change the subject any time I brought up Tund. The sudden tension in her voice. The time she came home late, smelling like his cologne. And I convinced myself it was just paranoia. But it wasn't paranoia. It was betrayal dressed as love. And it had my sister's face. I didn't confront her that day. No. I needed to be sure. I needed to see it for myself. And what I saw next shattered me completely. After that day at the salon, I stopped sleeping. Not fully. Just those half-sleeps where your eyes are closed, but your mind is racing. I watched Chioma more closely. Not in an obvious way. Just enough. Enough to start noticing things I never paid attention to before. She was always on her phone. That wasn't unusual. But the way she tilted the screen away from me, how her fingers would suddenly stop typing the moment I walked into a room. That was new. And then there were the late-night group study sessions she claimed to attend. One too many. One too often. "Chioma," I asked one evening as she stepped out in a crop top and jeans, "are you really going to read with Amaka? You don't even like her like that." She blinked. Only for a second, but I caught it. The pause, the calculation behind her smile. "She's changed," she said. "We're cool now." I nodded. Let her go. But that night, I didn't stay home. I followed her. I waited 10 minutes, threw on a hoodie, and took a bolt. I told the driver to keep distance. I didn't know what I was doing, only that I needed proof. Something to quiet the madness swirling in my head, or confirm it. We drove through Surlier's narrow streets, headlights casting strange shadows on the roadside kiosks. My heart thumped so loud I was sure the driver could hear it. I saw her, Chioma, standing outside TFC, phone in hand. And then, the car pulled up. That car. The black Toyota Camry with the dented side mirror and cracked front plate. My breath caught in my throat. I knew that car like I knew my own heartbeat. Tund used to pick me up in it. We had our first kiss in that car. I cried in that passenger seat when he first made me feel small. I bled memories in that car. Now it was pulling up for her. She smiled and skipped toward it, slid into the passenger seat like it belonged to her, like he belonged to her. I couldn't move. All I could see was Chioma laughing, her head tilted back, playful slap on his arm, as the car rolled off into the night. In that moment, something inside me collapsed. I stood there in the dark, hugging myself like it would hold me together. But nothing could. My mind kept echoing the same question. What do I do with this? What do I do with this truth that feels like acid on my skin? I got home late, numb. Chioma was already back, dancing to TikTok in the living room like she hadn't just shattered me. I watched her, really watched her. The way she moved, carefree and unbothered. Was she always this good at lying? I turned away. I spent the next few days inside a whirlwind of memory. Flashbacks rushed in. The way Tund kissed my forehead, the way he lied, the promises, the apologies, the silences. I remembered how I begged God to take the pain away, how Chioma held me, cried with me, and promised he'd never get near me again. And now she was in his car, in his life, in the space I once held sacred. The war inside me boiled over, rage and heartbreak, fear and disbelief. I wanted to scream at her, but I also wanted to be wrong. I wanted to believe there was some wild misunderstanding, some twisted joke. But no, deep down I knew. This was betrayal. This was intentional. I couldn't take it anymore. That night, I stood outside her door, my fist hovering midair. I could hear her giggling softly on the phone. I didn't need to guess who she was talking to. I knocked once, twice. The door creaked open, and she looked up at me, still smiling. Adana? You okay? My lips trembled. We need to talk. Because if I didn't say something now, I was going to explode. She sat on her bed, one AirPod still in her ear, scrolling through her phone like the world hadn't just tilted off its axis. I stood in the doorway, heart pounding so loud it muffled every rational thought. I need to ask you something, I said. Chioma looked up, blinking. Okay. I swallowed, my throat dry like dust. Are you dating Tund? There was a heartbeat of silence. No flicker of guilt. No shock. No shame. Just a cool, casual shrug. Yes. And my lips parted. I didn't know what I expected. Denial, an apology, maybe even a tear. Something to prove she cared. But all I got was indifference. You're dating my ex, I said, my voice shaking. The man who cheated on me, lied to me, made me feel like I wasn't enough. You held me while I cried over him. Chioma didn't blink. You weren't married to him, Adana. You broke up. He moved on. So did I. The silence that followed was volcanic, boiling, pressurized. Moved on. I whispered, with my sister. She scoffed. You're overreacting. You've always been dramatic about men. Tund was never even right for you. That broke something in me. You think I'm overreacting. My voice cracked. You think this is about a man? This is about you. You, Chioma. You were supposed to have my back, not stab it. She stood now, arms crossed. You act like the whole world revolves around you. Maybe if you weren't so obsessed with the past, you'd see that you were the toxic one in that relationship, not him. Tears blurred my vision. You were the one I trusted most. You wiped my tears, sat with me in silence when I couldn't breathe. And now you're telling me I'm obsessed. I didn't realize I was shouting until I heard Mom yelling from the hallway, "What is going on here?" She rushed into the room, saw my face, then turned to Chioma. What happened? What did you do? She's dating Tund, I said, voice raw. Mom gasped like someone had slapped her. Her hand flew to her chest. Chioma, no. That's your sister's ex. How could you? Dad was next. He'd heard the noise from downstairs and came thundering in. Chioma, is this true? She didn't even flinch. Her chin lifted like armor. Yes, I love him, and I'm not going to apologize for that. Mom burst into tears. Dad's face turned red with fury. You are disrespectful, he barked. You've lost your mind. But Chioma didn't back down. I'm tired of living in Adana's shadow. Everyone always thinks she's the victim, the saint. But she's not perfect. Tund chose me, and I won't give him up because she's still clinging to old memories. I couldn't breathe. My hands shook. My world spun. I didn't even realize I was walking out of the room until I heard Mom sob behind me, and Chioma shout something else. Something cruel. But I didn't hear the words. I was already gone. I packed a bag and left that night. Every step down those stairs felt like I was peeling my skin off. Leaving your home should never feel like defeat. But I wasn't running. I was saving what was left of me. I stayed at Say's place. She didn't ask questions, just held me when I broke down on her couch. Again, only this time, the heartbreak wasn't about a man. It was about blood. About betrayal you never see coming because you never expect it from someone who grew up in the same womb of love you did. I cried for hours, days even. My phone stayed silent. No apology, no explanation, just silence. Tund didn't reach out either. Not that I wanted him to, but the silence, it still stung. After everything, weeks passed, and then one morning, Sei burst into the room with her phone in hand. "Have you seen this?" It was a tweet, a thread, pictures of Tund and another girl, his new girlfriend. Chioma's man already had someone new. Just like that. Same way he moved on from me, he moved on from her. Part of me wanted to feel satisfaction, justice, karma, but all I felt was hollow. Mom called a few times, trying to fix things. "She's still your sister," she said. "Can't we just talk this through?" But I couldn't. Not yet. Not when every word from Chioma still echoed like a slap. Things between us haven't been the same. Maybe they never will. I've learned the hard way that blood doesn't always mean loyalty. It's not a lesson I ever thought I'd have to learn from Chioma. My little sister, the same girl who once slept beside me because she was scared of thunder, the one who used to wear my clothes and steal my lip gloss. But that's the thing about betrayal, it never comes from enemies. I've stopped trying to make sense of it. I no longer replay the conversation in my head, trying to figure out what I could have done differently. Some people will hurt you, not because you deserve it, but because they don't know how to love you the way you love them. Now I live with boundaries, not walls, but firm, quiet boundaries that protect my peace. I don't answer every call. I don't show up just because someone expects me to. I've started choosing me. I see her sometimes. In the house. On social media. And it still stings, just not as sharp anymore. The wound is closing. Chioma may be my sister by blood, but right now, I love her from a distance. From a space where my heart doesn't ache every time I remember that she chose him over me. Healing hasn't been pretty, but it's been honest. And if there's one thing I know now, it's this. You are allowed to choose yourself, even if it means walking away from people who once felt like home. Have you ever been betrayed by someone you trusted the most? Not just a friend, but someone close. Someone who knew your secrets, your scars, and used them anyway? If that's you, I see you. And I hope you know you're not alone. Sometimes the people closest to you will hurt you the worst. But that doesn't mean you have to carry the pain forever. Let it go, not for them, but for you. Because peace is too expensive to trade for bitterness. If this story touched you, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to hear it. And drop your story in the comments. Let's build a space for healing. Together.